Elfie, a Sand Plan is a game I've had my eye on for a while. In between spending copious amounts of money on Warhammer and beating up submissive men, I like to scroll Instagram, and this is when Elfie, the rotund elephant, entered my life. The developers of Elfie, Pressed Elephant, have been promoting the game on Instagram for nearly a year, and to great success. 100k likes for Elfie, that is so tough. There's much to be gleaned from this Instagram page as well, such as that Elfie is a busy, tiny, rotund elephant. Those things may seem contradictory, but they seem to track pretty well. Another important piece of information is that Elfie loves peanut butter. All of this may be a surprise to you guys, but I am a real Elfie fan.
Elfie is a small, rotund elephant. She has many hobbies, but that doesn't mean she doesn't enjoy lazing around with a jar of peanut butter at Trunk's reach.
Oh my god, Elfie coloring pages, these are mine now. Getting to the point, Elfie a Sand Plan released May 12, 2026 to pretty good reception. I'm here to add to that. Elfie is a good game and you all should go buy it, so let's hop into it. Elfie is a puzzle game centered around helping Elfie build sandcastles. The basic idea is each level gives you a selection of blocks and you have to build to Elfie specifications. The problem is that Elfie doesn't have a degree in architecture because she couldn't afford college, so all you have to go on is what it'll look like from certain angles. At first you only have to consider the front view, but then the game adds in the side view, or as I like to call it, the Elfie view. You also have the top-down view, or as I like to call it, Elfie got thrown into the sun view. Frequently, the game will require you build a sandcastle that fulfills multiple views at once. This means that doing the first thing you think of isn't a phenomenal idea. This makes the game rather challenging for me as I am a fucking idiot. Like I actually had to ask the devs for help. This is where the actual meat of the game is. Some levels will require you only fulfill one view, but they're self-explanatory. Just place the blocks. Once you have to satisfy two views and build a proper 3D structure, the game really gets going. The basic idea of building a 3D object based only on 2D views is really cool and well done. It can be somewhat challenging though. I will be the first person to admit I am not the smartest, but sometimes I think the game could have used more hints. Most of the hints in the game were completely useless to me while I was stuck on any given level. One idea I have is ghost blocks appearing to show you what the game wants after you're stuck for a while, kinda like how match 3 games will highlight a match after a certain amount of time. Speaking of blocks, there's a lot of them in this game, so many that even Elfie gets confused. I kinda find this a little annoying because oftentimes a level will give you access to like 20 blocks and you only need like 3 to beat the level. Now this may sound like a non-issue because it allows you to experiment and doesn't give away what blocks you need to beat the level. The problem is I don't like clicking through 3 menus when I can beat the level with 4 blocks. Another minor complaint is that you can't change the camera angles. There is a photo mode which has different angles you slowly unlock after beating levels, but you can't interact at all in this mode, so no block placing. This means you have to build in a certain order to not wind up blocking your own view, and that can be a little irritating when you figure out what the game wants halfway through a build. As I said though, these complaints are minor. Though they are ever present throughout the game, they are mostly ignorable. Something I have no issues with is the presentation. All of the promotional drawings look great, and the in-game pixel art is easy on the eyes while still being bright and colorful. This should go without saying, but Elfie may be my favorite character design ever created. She is absolutely amazing and has some great dialogue. Most of the time she's cute, but sometimes she's a communist. Hell yeah, Elfie. What's really fun is you're able to respond to her sometimes, and it is adorable. You can also hit her on the head with a shovel if you're a monster. Next to the shovel, we can also find the CD player, and I respect Elfie for still using CDs, he just can't beat that audio quality. The music in game is nice and peaceful. None of it was too catchy, at least not to me, but I remember most of it and that's more than I can say for some games. To my ear it sounds very similar to Stardew Valley, and that is a compliment. The final aspect of presentation is Elfie herself. Elfie, take it away. As you play the game, you unlock more and more Elfie fits, and this is the best feature in the game, by the way. I cannot say enough how much I love Elfie. I will buy Elfie merch, please make it. Rounding off the gameplay is the sandbox mode. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can build whatever you want and Elfie watches. I made a cube because that's the extent of my creativity. Elfie: A Sand Plan is a phenomenal game that I recommend anyone interested in puzzle games to give a try. Elfie is peak character design and the gameplay is very solid. The only thing I would really want added is controller support, and maybe hats for Elfie. Yeah, that'd be dope. This was a shorter video because Elfie is a pretty simple game all things considered. There are a lot of levels, but this isn't a Let's Play, so if you want to see every idea Elfie has in store, I highly recommend buying the game. That's all from me for today though. The next video will be Sniper Elite 1 and 2. Have a good one.